Genre, you done cooking yet? I'm ready to eat.
Hey yo, get in the sassy jazz. Don't like me, tell her kiss my ass.
Hey y'all. So today I wanted to do my story time. So today I want to do my story time because it's just a brief story about the first photo shoot I got paid for. So in a nutshell, because I'm gonna make this really brief because to this day I can't even find it in, and I also put like some of the shots on the video, and I'll probably link the shoot and probably repost it, whatever. Anyway, so I had just got into modeling because my cousins bought two sentences, two different people, free D-roll and they had been pursuing music briefly. They had just gotten into it, and so I had decided to kind of finish off what everybody was starting, because it was very disappointing to keep getting that adrenaline rush and that build and wanting to support people and they're not getting able to finish their stories. And then I thought, oh my God, I have a story too. But in order to get my name out, because I was fresh off a hiatus from a very emotional experience, I needed people to redefine who I was in their minds. And the person they knew I was, the person even I thought I was, that just wasn't me anymore. And I was using music in my photo shoots to kind of warm people up for my story. Like, who is this girl? Who is she? I really remember just growing up and when Rihanna and Keisha Cole came out, I didn't know who they were. You couldn't, because Beyonce, you watched her grow up. Ashanti, I kind of watched her grow up. Aaliyah, you kind of watched her grow into who she was. But as I grew up, there were more artists wanting, and it was like, who is this? Who's that? And I wanted to do, growing up on the radio station, I wanted to do my research and understand who they were, where was their music coming from, where was their stories coming from. So once I got older, I started connecting all of those dots. Like, okay, hold on. But where did your music come from? Where would it come from? What are you going to say? How are you going to say? What did you sound like? I got really intrigued. And I grew up in the church, and I was in the choir. I attended vacation Bible school. I was very active in the church. So storytelling is not different to me. It's not, it's normal to me. I'm very fond of a good story. I'm down to listen. And I use that to write the poetry to get out the story. I prayed over it, and I just feel like it's God divine. So to bring it back to the modeling, right? I'm doing shoots and I'm paying for them, and then I'm finding photographers that are still building on their craft, so they are also either offering or giving me a discount for the quality and content that we're creating, because it's a networking type of thing. Anybody that, you know, is into this thing, they either are going to tell you this part or they're not. But then you do have people that, you know, exchange their bodies for things. I'm not her. They exchange, you know, clothes, discounts, things like that. I'm the person that's going to network with you so that we, you know, we're exchanging actual abundance with each other. I don't have it in me to share my body for a product, for an experience, for my brand. I cannot do that because, you know, that's a stain. Like this scar on my face, that's a stain. And I don't want that. So I haven't attached that to my brand. I really want people to stop trying to allude to that. That's not, I don't do that. Anyway. And that ties us into this story. So let's bring it back. So yeah, I'm doing shoots and I get this message from this guy who does cute lingerie shoots. I'm saying cute, sexy lingerie shoots. And his work was good, but he worked with Caucasian women. So I figured that I was just, you know, a different experience for him and he wanted to get that creativity out. That's the presumption I was under. He wasn't from Augusta, and I hadn't seen anybody on the page that was a mutual or that, you know, knew who he was. And being who I am, my page has always just been very vast to connect to people from all over the place. I appreciate that. I love that for me. But it does get a little tricky, and I have encountered a lot of experiences that I just did not anticipate by the age of 27. And it's just fun to be able to understand it now enough to communicate through it. That's the fun part. So this guy invites me to a shoot. He pays for one of my outfits and he paid for the setting that we were in. So to be transparent, we were in a hotel room. He also paid me for the shoot. I still had 2 jobs at the time. So this was exciting for me. Like, oh my God, you're actually like making a name in this game, this thing that you just, you know, spawned the idea to do is actually like creating a lane of abundance for you if you do this right. So I get off from work, I prepare for the shoot, and once I get there, I feel a little eerie, and I do recall I used to ask people to come to these shoots with me, and they'd either cancel last minute, never show up, or just, you know, flat out tell me no. And I'll dive into that in a different episode, but I'm only comfortable around the people that I am comfortable around, especially at that time. So if they told me no, it was kind of like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go on my own. I still have to go. Or, you know, if I didn't ask anybody at all, it was just, the show has to go on. I'm definitely that type of person. Like, let's just keep going till we can't go no more. And I get to the shoot. I was already dressed, so we go for like 3 different scenes. I had 3 different outfits. By the 3rd outfit, as a praying woman, I was uncomfortable. And just without the eerie details, because I have a lot of family that supports me, I decided to abruptly end the shoot, regardless of me being paid, and just, you know, get out of there safely. And I did that. The problem was that I couldn't communicate properly why he made me uncomfortable, because when you're dealing with narcissistic people and even people that have ill and malice intent towards you, they won't be accountable for the experience. And I kind of accepted that in that moment. I was very young. I can't think of the age right now. That's kind of how the experience was. I was probably about 24. About to turn 25. Maybe 23, about to turn 24. By the way, he didn't agree with what I was saying, how the experience went, that it was wrong. So he disappeared. In a nutshell, and a long story short, the 1,500 pictures, the 3 scenes, I've posted the few shots that I seem to have had because I saved them for some reason. But out of 1,500 pictures, they're completely gone. The email is gone. The Instagram account is gone. I couldn't find the man if I wanted to. Now, hear me out. Because I'm who I am, if he decided to just look me up, he could. Although I've slightly altered my name, you could still find me. Not that I'm scared of him or anything. He did not make me that uncomfortable to where I felt like I was in harm's way, because he knew to let me go. So it's kind of like he experienced something like this before, if without me saying it. He knew what he was doing, malice intent. So we kind of, you know, got into the odds when he started to aggressively try to get me to go through 1,500 pictures while I worked at a trampoline park, and they were working me too. Yeah, you will never catch me working fast food, a factory job, anything serious ever again in life. Like, quite honestly, 2024 is my last year doing any like clock in, clock out. Like, after this, it's gonna be straight media, music, entertainment, because I can't live like this. These people are crazy, and they be trying to harm me, and I don't like it. But to keep me from rambling, in a nutshell, the man disappeared after harassing me to go through the pictures, and I'm sitting here telling him, like, give me a minute. And as he's like getting into it, I'm like, look, I'm honestly in no rush for you to post these pictures, because you're not giving me time to breathe. Like, once I left, I needed a moment to gather what happened. And he got too touchy. Just to, you know, give y'all a brief. He got too touchy, and I wasn't with that. And like I said, I'm not selling my body for any content that you can give me. I will pay you before I do any of that. Sell my soul for it, anything. I can't. I need me. 50 years from now, God's grace. And yeah, he didn't respect my moral about the experience. So he just kind of like cold turkey, and it was fine because I still got paid for the shoot, and I still had a few shots from the shoot. So I just basically learned from that experience and tried to grow in how I communicated. And the argument spawned from him posting a few shots that he chose. And he was like, well, you hurry up and go through the shots, and we can go ahead and pick the shots you want to post, and that'll be done. And I get into it with a lot of photographers just to, you know, kind of get into what the next season will be about. I kind of get into it with a lot of photographers when it came to that, because you don't get to tell my story. And the way that I want to portray myself, we have to be on the same page for what I have to put out next. And as an independent artist, that has been very stressful against my brand. But again, I'm a praying woman, and with God's grace, it's gonna go smooth. With my newer team, we communicate a lot more better, and quite frankly, he doesn't post my shoots. I post them, and I really appreciate that, because it lets me control the direction that everything is going. And that's the kind of people you want to work with. And I'm glad I started off rocking, because without that experience, I would not know how to handle myself in shoots, in lingerie shoots, quite frankly, in any type of room that requires me to bring out that side of me without controlling the room still. So if he ever, you know, comes across this, I appreciate you nonetheless for the experience. It's no hard feelings to this day. I don't know your name. Thank y'all for tuning in. And as we proceed through the seasons, you know, we're gonna get a little more jazzy, because I missed y'all. So subscribe, like, you get 2 episodes like we planned the first season. And yeah, subscribe, subscribe, and share, or whatever.
Genre, you done cooking yet? I'm ready to eat.